What's up, Biblio pals, Biblio friends,
Biblio comrades.
Biblio buddies? I'm here with another episode of What You Reading? And, I started reading The Expanse. I chose this novel or the series, because I just got out of the Lives of Locke Lamora and the Gentleman Bastard sequence and all three of those books. And they are fantastic, but I just don't think I can jump back into the fantasy genre immediately. I'm not the type that I can binge a particular genre for that long, because I don't know, it might be something with my ADHD, but it just all starts melting together if I just slam them back one after the another. So I can't really do that. So to kind of digest what I read and the excellent experience that I had with that full review coming soon. But to digest that, I decided to start another series just because, it'll give me something to do and I don't have to rush myself. And I started The Expanse. The Expanse starts with Leviathan Wakes, and it's by James S.A. Corey, I believe. But I have it in my notes here. It's actually two authors. Their name is Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. Frank.
I think that's how you say that.
But essentially, I believe these guys studied under George R.R. Martin or something. I remember hearing some sort of lore about them. But it seems like a good duo to try whatever they want to try out, and they have enough merit. Even though I haven't read Game of Thrones, maybe they have enough merit to write a good book. And I'm about 25% into it, and I do have to say I am enjoying what I've read so far. I mean, it's honestly enthralling. So The Expanse takes place around 200 years in the future, so it's not like far out. We're not like leaping intergalactic stuff like that. It all takes place in the solar system, where you have kind of three factions. You have the Mars and Earth coalition. Both of them are kind of like they're kind of towards each other, but they share a united front. And then you have the asteroid belt, which is a station that's a bunch of stations set up there, and a lot of people refer to themselves as the Belters. So you have the Earthers, the Marthers, and the Belters. And I'm just thinking of Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers. But they kind of lack similarities in the fact that the Belters, growing up with less gravity, they tend to be lankier, longer limbs, longer legs, longer necks, and kind of bulbous heads for some reason. But the Earthers and the Marthers, and they're all grounded. So if you grow up on a planet, you're used to that gravity, so it's pulling your bones down, so you grow up like you and I grow up. But it's different on the belt, and so there's when anyone has physical differences, we always
Kind of got something to say about that.
there's a little tension of people that grew up on the belt versus the Mars and Earth people, and this tension is kind of what's centerfold in this. So you get two protagonists. You have Joe Miller, a noir detective, blah blah blah. I'm a cop. I mean, he's not as insufferable as that, but he's dealing with an ex-wife. He's got layers. He's like an onion. He's got layers. And then you have James Holden, who is a captain on a ship, and you get to deal. His backstory is that he was in a co-op of like 7 people, and all their DNA is mixed together to form him. So it's you have interesting characters, and you have point of views realistic enough that the characters are believable, and the characters themselves are fun to read. They're really morally gray, so there's no like hero's destiny book here, and that's okay. I don't necessarily care for the clear, like, cold cut good and evil. I really love me some morally gray characters. It's like crack. The world building in Leviathan Wakes is phenomenal. I really appreciate the attention to detail and design and to realism that this takes. Being a sci-fi novel, you don't expect it to be super realistic, but apparently they've consulted with NASA and big brain nerds about physics, and they really wanted to incorporate that. So a lot of the world building revolves around gravity, and I think that's awesome. I think it's a really cool thing. It's almost like gravity is playing strings of the story itself, because like the story is so focused around gravity, because you have the Belters who grew up in low gravity and got lankier, and then you have the Earthers and Mar you have those people, and they grow up with different gravity, and so that creates this nice little racial war going on, and tensions are high. I'm not. It's not like full blown war so far. I'm 25% into it, but it's it's definitely like a Cold War scenario, and that's where like the political intrigue comes through, because you have two key players, not by their status, because they're not like kings or anything like this. This is just two guys that work two day jobs, and they get to be at the center of this tension building, and it's just so well written so far, and I love it. The pacing is very great. The action kind of keeps it going, and the breaks in between it just flows very naturally. There's not a lot of abrupt flows, but there is twists and turns, and that makes it exciting. It makes you really want to go on to the next chapter. It's exhilarating because you get to see these two stories play out side by side. And so far, they haven't even interacted with each other, but like the cause and effects, the butterfly effect, the themes in this, like the themes for power and colonialism, it's powerful writing when you think about it. And I'm just really enjoying myself. It's supposed to be a part of an epic series. I believe there's supposed to be 9 books total. I don't think the 9th one is out, but I did not look this up before going into it, so hopefully I'm not wrong. But currently there are 8 books out, and you can just speed right on through them. And I'm hoping I'm not too addicted that I immediately jump into the next book. But so far it has been an enthralling story that I definitely want to continue. The grittiness of the way that series is, and the descriptions in it just makes you feel like you're there, and the political tension is there. And I'm not really one for political tension. I honestly don't give a crap about it, but the way that this is written is just, it pulled me in. It pulled me in. I also have a television show out that I have not started yet, that I'm not starting until I read the books, and that's sad. That makes me want to read them even quicker. But if you're not into reading and you happen to stop by here just to say hello, check out the show, because if it's any of as bit good as the book, then I think you'll enjoy it. And I believe it does have a very highly profound cult following. But so far, I'm enjoying it, and that's me being 25% into it, maybe 30%. I can't remember, but so far I'm loving it, and I'm definitely going to update with another vlog about the book later. Anyone after this, though, it's going to contain spoilers up until that point. So I'm trying to keep the spoilers free right now, and then later on, as we get to the 50%, 75%, and 100%, I'll probably be dishing out the spoilers of up to that point. If you want to read along, you can do that. But yeah, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But dude, it feels so great to be back in the sci-fi. This was the perfect little bridge back to sci-fi. So if you're a returning sci-fi fan, or you're thinking of starting sci-fi now, this book, the way that it's written is just beautiful. It's not too complicated, but it's grounded, and it feels good to read. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Tune in with my other stuff to watch me talk about other things and do other stuff. And like and subscribe, and we'll keep it lit. You'll see me again popping up on your interweb screens, popping up going, ah, ah, ah.